Oh my goodness. Hi, you guys. How are you? Oh my goodness. I hope I'm not yelling. I'm all excited right now. Okay, so first of all, good morning. We got to do, let me see. Good morning. Cheers. You little, oh, let me do, there it is. Good morning. Okay, so let me calm down because I always get so like rowdy and excited. Okay, so let me see here. Hopefully, can you guys you can hear me and everything looks good? Oh my goodness. Okay, so aloha. This is Miriam in Hawaii. Hi, Miriam. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Vicky, what's up, girl? Hello. Okay, let's see. Um, your pictures froze on the video. That's okay. Sometimes it's just a connection. So, everybody has different types of internet connections, right? And I know with my internet connection, sometimes it goes in and out and you just have to wait. Um, but you can also log out and log back in again with the live stream. So there you go. Okay, who else? Let's see here. Brandy. Hello, Brandy. Okay, well, let's see. Brandy from Northeast Ohio. Hi. Vicky in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, Vicky, are you familiar with I'm gonna forget it right. I'm so excited, like, my brain has all this other stuff in it. Wernersville, my parents live in Wernersville, and, yeah, that's where they live, so I don't know if you're familiar with that. I was out there, I think in July? But anyway, hello. Okay, let's see. I'm so excited. I found this channel. I'm going to be signing up for your classes on Udemy. I love your energy. Oh, thank you. Phoenix, I have poor eyes. These are not just for good looks. I have poor vision, and of course, I'm on my laptop, so I have to kind of lean in. So I'm sorry, you guys, if I get my face too close. Phoenix, Phoenixing Life. Um, Alberta, Canada. Okay, so you're in Canada. Oh my goodness, I love it. Um, that's so funny because, well, Phoenixing Life, first, what I was going to say is that if you want us to know your name so I can refer you by name, just you can type in what your name is so that I can actually do that. We actually are a ferry ride from Canada. I'm sure it's not, it's far away from you, but I haven't been to Canada yet. And I just updated my, what do you call it? My, oh my God, what do you call it? You guys, I'm like missing all my words right now. Passport. I updated my passport so I can travel out of the country. And technically, even though it's a ferry ride, it is out of the country. We're in Washington State. So and that is on my list to do. Probably maybe in January we'll do it. I'm excited. You guys know I love doing lots of new experiences. So, okay, you guys are really chatting. This is great. Okay, oh, good, Vicky, you figured it out. You're in Wilkes Bar. Okay. Janet, hi, Janet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're from Brooklyn, New York. What's up, girl? Okay. Um, Passport. Yes, thank you. I did get that, but thank you. You guys will notice too, this is something that I do whenever I would teach live classes too. It's like I have so much running through my brain and I'll pause and sometimes go, "What's the word?" And students would throw it out for me because you got a lot going on in here and it's like hard to keep all of it together. I get so excited. Okay, so Kathy, hey Kathy. Okay, so you are from in Indio, California. I think that's what you said. Yes. So hello. Okay. Oh, Brandy, you took the love forensics course and you loved it. Oh my goodness, that's great. I'm so happy. Well, yeah. So you guys, this is really this is for you guys to share whatever you guys want to talk about. I think it'd be a really good time too to ask any questions. Hold on, my cat came in here and just so you guys know my kitty Minuet. So she loves being on camera and she knows exactly when I'm going to go like live or do something like this. And what she does is I don't shut the door all the way because I know that she's going to scratch on it. But what she likes to do is she comes in and she bumps it and moves it all the way open. Like she wants it to be completely open. So hang on a second because I'm going to just kind of close this a little. Okay, so what was I saying? I was saying that this is a really good time for you guys to be able to ask any questions that you have in regards to, like, I don't know, anything, literally. Like, if you guys have any process questions with POBA, sometimes people have questions with diplomas too. This chat is really just a forum to hang out with you guys. I'm so excited seeing all of you guys on the site here, but I do want you to be able to utilize our time that we chat for anything that you want to talk about. And it can be personal too, if you have a personal question. So let me see here. Phoenix Life. Um, your cat does the same thing. Yeah, they're such amazing, intelligent creatures, and, literally anytime that we're gonna record, she knows, like, she likes to be in the camera, so she'll get right in the middle of it, and my husband is now recording, and she's doing the same thing to him, getting her little cameos in his classes too. Okay, so looks like let's see, how do I say that? Shok 22? Good morning. My name is Shok. I hope I'm saying it right. You're from Kuwait. Oh my goodness. Took 2 of your classes and I want to send so much love to you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, hello. I'm sending so much love back to you guys. You guys are so important to me. I hope you know that. This has been a long journey of, teaching and really trying to find the place where I could find all my people. And this has really been, you guys have been amazing. I mean, you guys are just so amazing to me. And I am truly grateful for you guys. Let me see, Vicky, I see some hearts flowing from you. Um, Going through a lot. Yeah. Oh, re listen to courses. Okay. So, well, that's what lifetime access means, right? I think the cool thing with my teaching style too is probably that, you guys can go back and listen to things when you feel like you need to. You know what I mean? It's they're not some stuffy courses where where you can't go back and just pick out the one that you actually need. So first of all, let's do something fun. So what are you guys actually drinking and what time is it in your area right now? So take some time to put that in the chat. Kuwait, I don't even know what time it is there. I've never looked into that. I know in the UK it's like 8 hours difference, but tell me what time is it in your area right now? It's obviously 10 o'clock my time. So let's see. 9 PM. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 9 PM in Kuwait. Okay, Brandy, not sure if I read it right, but did I read that you're thinking about adding more diplomas or mastership diplomas? Um, yes. Okay, so thank you. That's a great question. Okay, so let's get into this. So I revealed a lot of information to the Pobatiers, which you guys saw that I changed the name to Pobatiers because I always was like, oh, you are association members and you guys get to use the branding and stuff like that on all of your advertising. And if you make certificates, you can use the global brand name of Place of Bliss Academy with that. And every year the logo is going to change, and that's how we know whether you're a current member or not. But I reveal a lot on the back end. So you guys have private pages, and I will reveal different things that I don't reveal to everybody kind of ahead of time. And so I'm going to, because it's gotten so close now, right? In December, I'm really going to be working on updating some things on the website because I am going to be adding not only the digital certificates that we do, but I am going to be adding hard copy diplomas. And this is really exciting because a lot of people have, I've heard a lot of people where they can't get in a door somewhere because somebody is trying to invalidate their education because they only have something that is digital, like a digital printout. So the cool thing is with the hard copy diplomas, you are going to be able to get a gold seal that is stamped. I'm doing this because there's a little motion. There's a motion that you do. For the seal. It's a gold seal that has a what is the embosser? So it has the POBA logo embossed on a gold seal, and you will have my like handwritten live signature on that, and it will be sent out. So that is something that's going to be in the new and improved POBA store. And the other cool thing is merch is coming. And so all of that stuff is, I'm going to be finalizing all of that in December so that it can go live in January. And so it's pretty exciting. So not only are all the mastership diplomas and the advanced diplomas going to be available in hard copy as well as digital, and it will be much more pricey. So a lot of people will still just want the digital copies, but if you wanted a hard copy and needed one for specific reasons, you can get it. It'll just be more expensive. What was the other thing I was going to say? I am going to be adding on, and I cannot remember the name right now, but in December, I will add the digital one on. I have a specific name, and I've already made the diploma for it, but it's a Reiki diploma. And I wish it's great, Brandy, a great question too. I don't remember the exact name that I came up with for that diploma, but it's an advanced Reiki diploma, so it's different than just the certificates. So that is coming. Okay, you guys made a lot of comments, and I've been talking. Let me know if you have any questions in that regard too. Okay, and Brandy, if I answered your question, to let me know. Okay. Okay, so Phoenix Rising, you are drinking carbonated water with cranberry and Meyer lemon. Yum! I love lemon. Um, Okay, let's see. I'm just looking. 110, Janet, it's 110 there. Thank you for being part of this, you guys. Kathy, 10, coffee and protein. Okay, cool. 111. Ooh, 111. That's a good time. Okay. I believe in numbers. Let's see here. Okay, so Vicky, you were talking about um, being stuck in a spiritual holding pattern. Okay, let me get through all of this. Albert, welcome. I just saw your name there. Um, it says Albert. Oh, Renata. Okay. Renata from Romania. What's up from Romania? Oh my goodness. Hi. I'm enjoying so much of the Amadeus shamanism course currently. I am in Austria. Oh my goodness. Hello. It's 7 p.m. there. You guys are so awesome for showing up. Nebraska, Brenda Miller from Nebraska. It's 12:15. How amazing that, like, isn't that so cool? We're all around the world. Um, and Poba is a global brand now. I haven't posted this because I'm waiting for a certain number, but I just wanted to tell you guys that Poba, it has over 26,000 students now. We're almost at 27,000, and I'm waiting till the 30,000 where I'm going to do a big live stream kind of party. I did that, I think, at 10,000, and I'm waiting for that big 30,000 number, but we are steadily growing every single month. And so Poba has really become a global brand, which is why so many people are now joining the Poba tiers to become association members. So look into that. I keep it like $20 for the entire year, you guys. I know, I could be charging a lot more for that, but it's more important for me to support you guys in your healing work because you're out there. This is the other reason why I decided to do hard copy diplomas, and I had to learn a lot, you guys, because there's taxes involved and there's a lot, and it hasn't. I want to talk a little bit about that too, because it did bring up a lot of stuff. And I know a lot of people are going through different things. So I do want to talk about, maybe some of you, Vicky, you put that spiritually, you felt like you've been in a spiritual holding pattern. What else have some of you guys been going through? Like if you were to just put it, don't write a bunch of words, just put, because I can't, once you guys all start going, I won't be able to read through it fast enough. But if you had to kind of put one or two words to some of the stuff you currently are experiencing. We're always experiencing like a different level of something or learning something specific. If you could put a word or two to it, what would it be? Brenda, you're joining in December. That's awesome. Yeah, $20 for the entire year. And another good question that somebody asked me about joining Brenda, be more specific with healing. Like, because there's psychological healing, there's like, be as specific as you can so I can talk about that. You don't have to like tell your personal business, but like what kind of healing, because that's really a broad brush. What was I saying though? I'm going to give you guys time to enter that in. The Poba Tears has over 50 members now, and someone had asked me recently, when, if I join now, am I going to have to pay again the first of the year? That's kind of how Patreon is, but with the way that our memberships are, it only renews you a year from the time that you joined. Okay, so it's only going to renew during that time. So you can join at any time and then not worry that because January switches to a new year, that all of a sudden, it's gonna charge you again. It's not gonna do that. So join whenever you want to join. What the benefits are is that you get a lot of advanced information about what I'm doing. I talk more personally to you. You get what I call the Poba Tier love letter. And it's really where I just get a little more personal, and I give you some background detail on stuff, and I reveal secrets to you that I don't, necessarily, well, I don't reveal certain things. It's like back end things that I'm working on that kind of reveals a lot to you about what's going on or what's coming next. Okay, so I'm going to take a minute to read some of this stuff because I want to see. So we're talking about healing, disconnected, but something coming at large. Yeah, definitely. Um, Healing on mind, body, spirit, facing my fears and trauma. Oh my God, you guys, I wrote down notes and you're going to laugh because I'm going to read them to you in a minute. Yeah, facing fears and trauma is a really big one right now. I found myself, let's see, a backward slide, also knowing now oversensitive. Let me understand this side also. Oversensitive, so retaking the energy protection and boundaries course to get back on track. Okay, I'm going to stop there. You are not oversensitive, Brandy. So let's have a little master class about this right now. Okay. Whenever somebody would say to me, like even in an argument or discussion, oh, you're being too sensitive, you're being oversensitive. You are not being oversensitive. Your body is reacting and telling you something's going on, and it's your job to pay attention to what the sensitivities are, right? So we get called these names like you're being too sensitive, and it isn't about that, because our sensitivity, I don't know what class, many of them that I've said this out loud, your sensitivity is your divinity. It's what connects you to this, this higher self, higher God, higher being, source energy, all of that. And when we are sensitive, it's telling us, look deeper. You need to look deeper at what's going on. And then take the time that you need, not to kind of fend off explaining why you're sensitive to other people, or spending your time kind of feeling bad about yourself because somebody just, kind of wrote you off and told you you were being oversensitive, or you writing yourself off saying that you're oversensitive. Because in a way, when we talk about ourselves that way, we're just kind of brushing off that our feelings matter, and they do matter. So I would suggest, that you are not oversensitive, you are simply sensitive. And what I recommend that you do, if any of you are feeling this way, is don't just keep going, and not taking the time to focus on that. I think, get out a journal. I think everybody should have their little booklets. Like I have these, let me see if I have these booklets, right? Go to the dollar store or whatever your equivalent to dollar store is, get a bunch of these and just have them on standby so that anytime that you are, you need to express what you're feeling, you can write these things down. And it's important that you actually write down, what am I sensitive about? And then write that out. And and trace it back, right? This is where someone else said trauma, like facing fears and trauma, right? A lot of stuff comes up for us, and it's all it is it's asking us to look at it again. Pay attention. Pay attention to me. What am I feeling sensitive about? What just triggered me? Why am I having these fears, right? And I wrote in my booklet, let me show you this. Okay, I'm going to read it to you, but this is the stuff because I always, you guys know that I always talk about themes in healing that come up. And it's like fears, choices, analysis of relationships. And these are my words, but the slow burn versus impulse, right? And that, I'm going to write this down too. That had to do with conflict. Maybe I'll get to that too. A lot of people are making impulsive decisions about, maybe about you. In society, a lot of people are just doing that. They're cutting people off. They're not even trying to do any kind of conflict resolution with anyone anymore. They're just cutting people off, or what's now termed ghosting. And we're not talking about just, people you don't know, that you don't agree with. A lot of people are getting rid of people that have been in their lives forever, and these were deep, profound relationships, and it might be based on something that's really like one thing, and then they get rid of the person instead of trying to resolve conflict or, work on something. People are so impulsive now that they don't want to do any work. They just want everything to be perfect. And what I always say is, like, life is a sloppy Joe. It's not perfect. And I think you have to determine if people are worth the work. And that's the thing, right? If someone's too toxic, if you've tried all those measures of talking to people and then it's still very toxic, nothing's working, then that's one thing. But to just dispose of people, that's tough. Okay, I want to catch up to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Everybody backslides a little sometimes. Sometimes it's one step back, two step forwards. I think the important thing is not to beat yourself up about it. You're allowed to, take one step back and a few steps forward, right? Like, just like this picture, which, by the way, I haven't even asked you guys, isn't this a cool picture, a cool backdrop? It reminds me of the Acacia Records. I wish I would have gotten it bigger though, so that I kind of had to put some things here to block other stuff, but it's really kind of a cool picture, and I have a light shining on it so you can see it. But it's normal to kind of backslide, right? Because we're working on our defaults. So I don't want you, Brandy, to beat yourself up, or anyone else listening who's done that. This is part of the process. Sometimes we backslide a little because, and I just call it defaulting. We go back to our default because that's what we know. But the mastery work is recognition, right? And then what do we do about it moving forward? Like, write out what you're going to do about it. Don't just say, voice it. Oh, I'm back, backsliding. It's you acknowledge it, but then you go, okay, well, that's okay. Forgive yourself. That's why I say always forgive myself. Okay, I defaulted on something I know doesn't work for me, but now I'm gonna focus on this, right? And this is why I say writing stuff down is important, because you discover a lot about what you can do by writing things down. Okay, so and yes, then you get right back on track. Okay, let me go through because some other things. Okay, indecisiveness. Yes, because this goes back to what I wrote, choices, right? This is a theme. We can feel very indecisive about things. Trace back where that indecisiveness comes from, and you'll usually find that it comes back to fears, right? Because to make choices that are different for ourselves is very scary. I myself have gone through this, right? Because it's like with all this new development, moving, POBA into 2024 and making some additional things available to the student base now, I had to learn a lot of things and I was very overwhelmed and I was very scared about things. A lot of things touched on my triggers, right? Like we have money triggers, right? We all know that we have these storylines about money, and a lot of times when we have to make a change for growth, especially if it's growth in business, because business is an investment. We have to invest certain things and move forward, and we have to involve money responsibilities and paying taxes and stuff like that. We will be triggered with our money stories and our trauma. And so we have to face that. And that gives us a choice, because we always have a choice. We can choose to move forward and do the scary thing, or we can choose to sit back and just think about our fears and be so scared that we never make the choice to move forward. Okay. And that's not the right decision to make. But it might be this decision that you feel comfortable with in the moment. And if that's the decision that you are making, you don't feel ready to face all those fears, the time will come. That's why I said this is the long burn. Nothing has to be done overnight. My stomach is growling. I hope you can't hear it. I have like the loudest stomach growl in the world. Um, we all get to those decisions when we're ready. The universe will put things in front of us. It's never to punish us or to make life hard for us. I never like listening to that one. It's like, oh, the universe is making me struggle. No, the universe is putting choices in front of you. And you get to see the reflection of yourself through the choices that are put in front of you. And sometimes you're ready for them, and sometimes you're not ready for them. And if you're not ready for them, that's okay too, because you will eventually be ready for them, right? So all you need to do is be patient with yourself, realize that this is about the mastery work, which is also the long burn of growth. And don't be afraid to get your journal out and write down, if whatever you said here, then write those words down, and then when we're done here, unpack them. What are the things that I wrote that I was going through? And then one by one, unpack, where does it come from? See if you can trace it back. Go back to the history. What did I hear in my home about this topic? Because a lot of times we have these old historical belief systems that are tied in and we don't even realize it. And I think what is it? Well, there's 2 courses that help you deal with all that stuff. If you haven't taken them, I recommend it. Resolution therapy, and also the master coach, the 6-pillar master coaching, because there's worksheets and it makes you dig into all of that stuff and it helps you to uncover it. And then you develop who you are now and the beliefs you want versus these unconscious things working in the background. Okay, so let me see. Let me see what else. Let's see. I've been trying to teach my 9-year-old the only way to make life better is to acknowledge what is bothering us and not just leaving it bothered, like, but what and why, right? Like digging into the why and the analysis of it, right? Because I think if we don't ever look at what's going on, we're just existing in our defaults, and that just happens. Everybody make sure they get a drink or whatever too. Okay. Have you thought about doing a class on spiritual awakening? Vicky, isn't every class I do on spiritual awakening? Do you mean something very specific? Because literally every single class that I have is on spiritual awakening, you silly goose. Okay. Don't apologize, Phoenixing life about your length. It's okay. Um, Brandy, you feel so many energies. You get really overwhelmed and can't separate mine from someone else's. Okay. Oh, that just reminded me. Okay. So many energies. I'm writing this down. So many energies. First of all, I'm going to give you guys a technique right now on dealing with your overwhelm. It is because of there's so many energies. Yours, right? All the things you're creating, but also others. Okay. And the way that you handle that and is the way that I've been dealing with all the growth and all the stuff I'm dealing with is increments. So when we have so many things going on in our life, and for me, it's been a lot of it has been like growth and business and juggling, different things that I'm releasing and stuff like that, and like books, my book publishing stuff and marketing for that, and then making sure, okay, POBA and more courses and students and all the things that I'm doing for POBA to advance it into 2024. That, and then my own fears and triggers, regarding the chances I'm taking and the money investment and all this other stuff. It brings up those fears and those traumas and those choices that I can make or not make, move forward, not move forward, be in my fears or move past my fears, like all of that stuff. There were so many things going on for me that it was really difficult I was really overwhelmed. And then I just said, I have to take this in increments. I knew my release date for certain things was in January to release, like the new POBA store with the merch and the diplomas and all that stuff. Okay. So I said, okay, I already started all this other stuff, but I was getting so overwhelmed with my book stuff and the editing, because remember, I was editing 2 books. I only thought I was going to be doing one and ended up re-editing the first one. So I was editing 2 books and then writing 30,000 more words while I was trying to build a new store and designing merch and up. Oh my God, it was so much. So increments. Taking things incrementally is going to be a huge thing for you to do. If you are overwhelmed all the time, or it just hits you sometimes that you're overwhelmed, then you are doing too much at once, and you need to incrementalize the stuff that you're doing. So again, write down all the things that you need to work on, and then you put them in an order of importance. What is the most important thing that I'm going to work on? And you look at release dates. When do I need to have these things done? Or, for me, it's release dates, but for you, it just might be like, what's a realistic time frame to get this stuff done? And when you do that, you can incrementalize the things that you're working on. And that way, when you are also, have fears and triggers in regards to those specific things, you're not having to deal with your triggers and fears all at the same time with all this other plethora of, things that you're working on. That is just like way too much to deal with at the same time. But it's more manageable when you can carve out the space and say, okay, well, the most important thing, like I did with my books, the most important thing is I got to finish this edit. So I'm going to focus on writing and finishing this edit and all the stuff book related. And I'm going to kind of pause what I've already done on the website. And I'm going to see how that goes. And I'm going to get that done. And once I got that stuff done, it was like, okay, now I can move on to this portion of what I have to do. You can approach all of your life that way. So my advice to you is, in order for you to kind of balance all the things that you have to do and all the choices that you have to make, is incrementalize them, one at a time, and put them in a priority list so that you are not being inundated with all this energy, not only your emotions and your triggers and your fears in regards to all of it, but then as empaths, right, picking up on the energies of everybody else, and then you're trying to sort through it all. Oh my God, your head would just, it's like that emoji with that person's head blowing up. That's a lot, it's a lot. So, okay, let me see. Is there any other questions? Did I get everything? Thank you for the hearts and the love. Um, okay. You know what? With understanding, I'm also looking at like processing. Take the time that you need. I was just talking to my husband about this too the other day. Take the time that you need to process. Nobody puts a time stamp on how fast you need to process something. If you take longer to process something, then take the time. There's nobody over your shoulder saying you gotta hurry up and do it. This is all about you. Like, do it at your pace. Learn at your pace. Learn how you need to learn. If you're not ready to move past a certain thing, then don't move past it yet. Analyze it a little bit more. You can be productive in the holding pattern. Look at it, right? So, if you feel stuck in a holding pattern, that's what you're supposed to look at. What's my holding pattern and why? It's okay. I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna stay there until I figure it out. Figure it out. Analyze it. And be patient with yourself. Write it down in your book, like write it down. What's my holding pattern? Is there a fear? Is there a trauma it's connected to? Where did it come from? Is it something that's really present in my life right now? Or can I let that go and just kind of put it back in its proper time frame? The past, it's always going to be there, but is that really the driving force of how I feel right now? Maybe not. You know, take the time to be patient with yourself about this stuff. Okay. So let me see if there's any other questions in regards to this. Um, okay. Let's see. Right now, okay. Motivation. Well, motivation, I don't know how to answer that one because I think motivation, you have to deal with stuff that's going on with you. I don't know that you're not motivated because you're here. Right? I think you're in the process of moving through stuff, and that is motivation. I don't think that you're not motivated. I think that every person that showed up here is motivated. Maybe we're not getting the results or the answers, or we're not moving through things, or things are causing a little bit of suffering in our life. So we feel like it's taking longer, and maybe it's harder for us to deal with all of those things every day. So some days we choose maybe not to look at it. You're allowed that. Dealing with fears and traumas and overwhelm, it's a lot. Another technique I'm going to give you guys is take days off. You know what I mean? Like, just say, I'm taking a day off from suffering. I'm just like, I have a lot going on, and I'm feeling so trauma. Some days you feel like I'm so traumatized and have fears. I'm just taking a day off from that. You literally can declare that I'm taking a day off from my fear and my trauma. I'm not doing anything that is triggering me that day. Because, if it's focused on healing, if it's focused on a specific business goal, you're trying to achieve things and you've just been so stressed out, take a day off from it. Literally, just say, I'm not doing anything about that today. Plan it. Just go, okay, on Wednesday, I'm not doing anything on Wednesday in regards to that. I'm completely taking the day off from suffering. Whoever heard of that, right? I'm taking a day off from suffering. Guess what? That could be your new motto. I recommend you put at least one of those days in every week. Every week. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, only on the weekends. No. Take a day that you would normally be working on something during the week and say, like, I'm only going to work on one thing. That's it. Like, maybe if you have multiples and go, I'm only working on one thing that day because that's it. And maybe the other thing you work on is I'm going to the store, or I'm going to go buy a candle, doing something nice for yourself. Your list of to do does not always have to be this thing that's revenue producing. You can still mark things off your list that you did stuff, but they could be for you. You did things for you. And that's part of longevity in the long burn, right? Let me see. Liz, I'm a manifesting generator, and my best business partner is a projector. So we are constantly making, creating, and brainstorming, and it's hard to step back from ideas and projects. Yes, I totally understand that. Okay, so um, what I just said is totally fits into that, right? Because you can be going constantly so much that you again overwhelm yourself and you burn yourself out. And I know that that's you don't want to do that. Usually when we're sensitives like that too, we're creative and we have a lot of ideas and things that we're constantly doing, and you really literally can wear yourself out. I'll give you an example of that. Is that, I'm an artist too. And there was a time where I was just focused on creating, like making my art all the time. And I would go to the store to buy certain things. And when I was in the store to buy certain things for a project I was working on, I would get like three different ideas and I would want to start buying all the stuff for those things. And sometimes I did that. And then what would happen is I'd come home and I would be so overwhelmed because I had so many art projects to do and I wanted to do them all at once because all those creative juices were there. And so um I would compartmentalize and I would say, one, I had a rule that like I'm going to the store to buy things and I am only buying for that one project that I went into. And that's what you can do the same. You can have a list of creative projects that you put into your trusty little notebook, because that's what I started doing. I still do that. There's, okay, these are the lists of courses that I want to get to next, and I'll prioritize them. And I may even start them on Udemy, get them started with the title and whatever, but then I focus on the one that I'm feeling is the one that should go first. And then I focus on that one, but I have my list of things that I need to do. When I go to the store for artistic projects, I only allow myself to buy the supplies that I need for that one. But I make a mental note of all the other things, and I go, oh yeah, when I start that one, I can see all the stuff I can get, right? So really incrementally like planning things for yourself and with the goal in mind of not overwhelming yourself, because you can do that. Now, I also saw this other thing that you would want a course on human design, and I never really understand what that means. Like, give me an example, because I feel like everything that we're doing is all human design. Right? Because it's like if you're designing the human being that you're becoming, right? That to me is human design, and there's so many offshoots of that. But specifically, like, I'm going to look it up. Let me see. Let's see here. What is human design? Let me see if I can get a definition. It says pseudoscience. Can you, whoop, Okay, pseudoscience. Human design is a new age inspired pseudoscientific practice. Its proponents describe it as a holistic self knowledge system. Yeah, so see, that's what I'm talking about. Is some describe it as similar to Myers-Briggs personality test. Its effectiveness has not been confirmed by peer-reviewed research. So, human design is a beautiful title, and I can understand why someone would want that title, and I definitely will look into that. Um, I would have to have some real clear concepts of what I was doing. I'm not a big fan of the Myers-Briggs thing. As an artist, that really bugs me because I remember there was people that would do the Myers-Briggs tests on people in order to hire them. And I just think it reduced people down to words on a page and didn't really explain who people were. So that always bugged me. But human design, I would need to understand. I would need to do some more research to see how I would do that. But it's a big, sexy title, and I love that. But I would have to understand it more. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Okay. Oh, here comes some more. Okay. There are several yeah, I'm sure there are several classes on Udemy. I had a, client who was taking human design too, but we were in therapy for other stuff. I never asked her any details about that, but it was helping her. Okay, Liz, I find it interesting way to look at the way we function in the world. I get that it's not necessarily scientific. Yeah, whatever. That doesn't even matter, right? Like, there's a lot of things that matter, and I do believe in science, and I believe in all of that comes together, right? So it is important. Um, Astrology, Kabbalah, I Ching. Oh, okay. So see, I need to look into more of that. I think that there is so much wisdom in astrology, in the Kabbalah, I think is how you say it, but Kabbalah. I Ching, I have that book. I mean, all of this stuff, you guys, I have studied so many different things that I feel like it all blends in together. And this is why my courses, I feel like my courses are doing all of that already. They might not be all in one, focused on, human design all in one course, but you are getting all of that stuff of why we do what we do. If you want something that really narrows that down, like that, I think again, the resolution therapist and the master life coach does do all of that. It just has a different title, but I think they're all kind of like that. But I will give that a list. I will look into that and see if there's anything from that specifically that I would like to incorporate. Um, I do want to tell you too, 20 years ago, Soul of Science. Yes, that's beautiful, Brenda. 20 years ago, Soul of Science did not exist. I love it. Um, wait, what my thoughts on personality types? I definitely think there are, there's definitely personality types. There's, like you can look at it, there's truth to all of that. I think the thing that would bug me about it was like when people would use it to like not accept other people, right? Like, oh, we only want these kind of personalities, and it becomes like choosing robots, like that Twilight Zone, like which number do you want? Do you want to be like number 1, 2, or 3? And those were the personalities to choose from. That's where it would bug me. It's not denying that personalities types don't exist. They do. Just like, you can look at personality types of astrology, Leos and different people. Um, all of that stuff is true. And I think it's very fascinating. Where I don't like it is when people use it to like not accept other people, or incorporate other people. And because they're just creating these, I don't know, it just feels like a clone army going into a business or something. I don't like that. But I do think it's great. And yeah, you never know, something like that could come. I do want to tell you guys something really exciting is that I just submitted this morning. You're like the first ones to hear this. I just submitted a new course this morning. And so who knows, in a day or two, it might be online. And I know Udemy right now is doing their Black Friday sale at $9.99. It's for 6 more days. I just released a course and it's called The Art of Sensuality and Seduction. And it is so exciting. In 2011, I created a course. I already had the workbook and everything for it. And so I'm putting that out there now. I'm going to be putting that out there very soon. As soon as it's approved, it'll be online. It usually takes a day or two, and it will be on the website too. So you'll be able to see that. And of course, it will be part of our next sale that we do. Um, but it's really exciting. It's really fun. I use the most beautiful backdrop. So I will have today, probably after this, I will be making the link to the course landing video on my YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see what the background looks like. And it's just an amazing, empowering course. It is made for women to understand um, everything, sensuality, seduction, anatomy, like all of that. It goes into anything that's going to empower you in intimacy and into sexual health and all of that stuff, acceptance, self-love. So it's a really fun class. It comes with a 35-page workbook, which is amazing, that has pictures and all of that stuff. It's all my study that I've done. I just don't wanna go too much into it. It's a lot, but it's like a 2.5-hour course. It's a lot of fun, and it's very empowering, and at the end of it, you can get a certificate that says, with your name, that says Mistress of Sensuality and Seduction. And for men, men can also take this class. It's made for women, but there's both information on biology and all that stuff, for men and for women. And if a man wants to take this course, he's encouraged to do so, and he will get a certificate that says Paramour of Sensuality and Seduction. So that's really exciting. So that literally just happened this morning. The next course that's on tap is going to be the course on doing Voodoo readings. Okay, my personal development of how I created my Voodoo readings. It's a divine deck reading. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to label that yet, but that's going to be next. And a lot of people have been asking about that. So I just wanted to let you know. Let me see if there's anything else. Thank you, Vicky, saying that she appreciates what I do. Aw. Aw, I'm your favorite teacher. Thank you so much. Thank you, you guys, for all the love and saying that you love my courses. Um, spicy energy ball. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I want to share something else with you. So, I just shared with you that a new course is coming called The Art of Sensuality and Seduction, and you will be internationally certified as a mistress or a paramour of sensuality and seduction. I also want to tell you, I've told you the new course that's going to be coming after that, and I want to share with you my books in person and something else that just happened. So, I think I did put it online, but I didn't put it on POVA yet. I don't know that I will. I have, if you guys are interested in my books too, go to the Imperfect Author, Sufani Wiseman Garza on Facebook, because I have my own Facebook author page there, and also on Instagram, the same thing, the Imperfect Author, where I post updates and stuff, and I have more things coming. But I took a long time to study design. I left my publisher, who did not do a great job for me, from cover design. I mean, it was a nice cover, but when I studied cover design and what is supposed to be on a cover to intrigue people, it didn't have what I needed. So I left the publisher and I decided to go out on my own. And I have some marketing that's going to start on the 30th. But I wanted to show you. So this is my cover design. Ooh. Okay. And if you guys get this book, this is book 1. I want you to look right there. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it here, but I want you to look in the window, because there's something in that window that you can see it. But the cover design, oops, let me see. It shows, in a few seconds, you're supposed to be able to see what this is. The writing should tell you the genre immediately. It's a haunting in Gig. You guys, I'm so A Haunting in Gig Harbor, 1377 Ricopee Lane. It's the Ricopee Lane series. There's my name, there's a quote there, and then you can see that it shows you, a girl with her 3 dogs, and if you look closely in the window up there, there's something spooky there, okay? A book cover is supposed to tell you everything in just, like, 2 or 3 seconds, like, the genre. The book cover is to tell you the genre first by the writing. And I learned you're not supposed to have, it's supposed to be a certain simple color scheme, which I managed to do that. But someone can look at it and go, oh, it's a haunted house and a girl just moved in with her dogs. That's enough to get them started. Okay. So I did that cover myself. I had that completely re-edited by a professional editor on Readsy. And if you're in my Get Published publishing marketing strategist course, I go over all of what I've learned about the cover design and what it should have, and I also linked my editor there, who is ready and willing to work with you guys if you guys are writers. And keep in mind, this is even if you're putting out little things. It doesn't have to be books. It could be you need her to just review pamphlets or presentations or anything that you guys do where you want somebody to kind of give you a backup, she can do any of that. Okay, here's the second book. Okay, and it shows you, okay, this is called woo, The Haunting in Gig Harbor, Purdy House, The Cold Room, and you can see it's like a hallway and there's some kind of spooky girl, a real life quote, and then I put funny things like hauntingly tasty, hauntingly delicious. um, it's just clean and to the point, and I put my marketing in the back. So anyway, you guys, this is book 1 and 2. So what I wanted to share with you is not only did I do all of that stuff, but then yesterday I went into Gig Harbor because these books are about a haunting in Gig Harbor, and I wanted to get in Gig Harbor bookstores. And I'm still working on that. I got another referral from one guy that I actually got in the bookstore yesterday. And mind you, I realize I'm not going to make $1 million, in these. I think the online market is going to be obviously is way more for an indie person is way more profitable because it's numbers. But I just want to share. Let me see if I can share this with you. So there's my books right there. And they are officially in a Gig Harbor bookstore. So that's kind of fun. This is a closer up picture. Ah, and then this is the owner. You guys, I'm so sorry. That's me and the owner yesterday. Now the cool thing is by putting myself out there, he actually referred me to another bookstore because he's a used bookstore, but he still supports local artists or authors, I should say. And so he said, well, go over to Invitation Bookstore because they do all new books. So I drove over there, kind of cold called and walked in. And I just said, I didn't even know you guys were here, but No Dearth of Books told me to come on over and said that you guys support local authors too. And they said, oh, okay, here's the contact to the owner. This is the person. And they did have, they had indie published people in the front that were local. So that was exciting. So that's another lead. I know I'm going to be able to get in there. And so I'm going to be working on that today. Well, I might send out an email, but I'm not going you know what I'm doing today after this? I'm going to read, eat. I got the best. We went to this place called Amish Market, like Amish Market, but Amish Market. And they have the best desserts. And so I got a caramel cheesecake that was so amazing. Now, mind you guys, I don't eat sugar. Like I've kind of cut out sugar and just said, I take big breaks sometimes, or in a way of controlling it. My husband and I, like, we don't eat it until the weekend. But lately I just said, I don't want any sugar at all, not even on the weekends. If I want one, then I'll just get it. But I kind of just avoid it. It always gives me headaches, which I ate it and it gave me these low grade headaches. So if you get if you get low grade headaches and you're not sure why, it's probably because of sugar. So just keep that in mind and start keeping track of like, oh, I ate this cake and then all of a sudden the next day I woke up with a low grade headache. It's because of sugar. And the same thing is true with body aches. If all of a sudden your back goes out and you've had like sugar, or you have all this body pain, it's because of the sugar. It's really interesting when I made that connection. So I'm like, oh, but it's worth a little bit of it sometimes because it's so delicious. Okay, I totally totally lost my train of thought, you guys, because I went off on the sugar thing. Oh, I have so many books to read, and I just got another one yesterday that I've been waiting for. I bought these 2 books, and they're really like scary books, and I accidentally sent them to my son, and it's been taking him forever to get them back to me. So I just rebought them, and they're here. So I am going to be reading that book today, and I'm going to be relaxing, and I highly recommend that you guys do the same thing too, is just relax today and take time for yourself. Um, the hallway, let's see, Brent, I'm playing with this idea. Aw, okay. Can't wait for the class. Let's see. Okay, so is there anything else that you guys wanna ask me before we go? And what do you think about this background? Isn't it kinda cool? My husband was like, "It's one of those backgrounds where you're falling." Let me see, let me get the right position. Ah. Um, it's really cool. It reminds me of the Akashic records, right? Because it's like the records just go up into the heavens. It's like never ending. So I really like that. Okay, we have a metaphysical store here, and I talked about your books and you planning a book tour, or how would a store be able to supply your books? So, Brandy, you did that for me? Oh my goodness. Okay, oh, so Brenda, you want a class about writing. What specifically? What specifically do you wanna know? And Brandy, reach out to me. You have my email, right? You guys can email me at sufani@placeofblisssanctuary.com, and the bliss and sanctuary means that there's gonna be 3 S's in a row, and this is where people mess up and they get bounce backs because they only put 2. So remember that, Place of Bliss Sanctuary. So it's sufani@placeofblisssanctuary.com. And Brandy, tell me where you asked about. That's amazing. What I forget what state you're in. What city, what state, because I would love to, the more that I could, get information. If any of you guys know of a local bookstore and you have a contact name, or you know somebody, or you can get me the email, send it to me, because it's all word of mouth, right? For us indie authors, I mean, I'm a hybrid, right? So I've had the regular publishing deal, and I've also done my research and studied with other people. And other indie publishers are telling me that they're getting more results, like the ones that have even become bestsellers. They did that on their own. They never reached that status when they had a publisher. So it's just, you gotta be in it for the long game. So please tell me, what does NDR mean? Brenda, what does NDR mean? I'm really like, acronyms. There's a lot of acronyms nowadays with emoji speak too, and I'm just not very good at that. Um, okay, so you would like a class about writing. Hmm. I'm gonna write that down, because I would love to do a class on writing, because I feel like I have a lot to say about that. I have learned so much about it. Right. So maybe like writing fundamentals? Yeah. And I've had an agent before, and I've also had a publisher before. I've had different editors before. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of that with the Get Published class, but not so much the writing. And I changed the title to say, of the writing slash author Get Published, like, strategist. I changed that because I didn't feel there wasn't really teaching about writing in there, and I wanted to be more true to, people searching to get published, but also true to what it is, because it's really a lot of marketing strategies too. Um, but I would love to do a course on writing, because there's so much. Oh, yes. See, right when you told me NDR, near-death experiences. Okay. You would want a course on near-death experiences? Is that what you're saying? Let me see. Or are you writing a book on near-death experiences? Tell me what that means, because, with all the comments, I'm getting a little confused. But, I think what you're saying is you're writing a book, or you have ideas about writing a book on that. Okay, let's see. Yes, I do, and also, what does that say? Yes, Brandy, yes, I do, and also, what's your patron? I live in Middlefield, Ohio. What's your patron? I don't understand that. What does that mean? Oh, Brenda, you're processing your near-death experience. Ooh, and you're gonna think about writing that. Oh my goodness. I love me some near-death experience books. They're in the recommended reading, on Place of Bliss, the Place of Bliss, Student Center Library. You can also get to it through just the Place of Bliss Sanctuary.com. You can get it both places. It leads to the sanctuary anyway. Okay, so interesting. Um, so Brenda, if there are specifics that, or any of you that are writers, if there's anything specific that you would want in, like, in a writing course, like how to do whatever that is, please email me directly and tell me what topics you would be interested in, because I'm all for writing or doing a course like that. I think that's my special, one of my specialties, and I would love to share the wisdom that I have with everybody else. And I've been thinking about, being that mentor to people that are going through that, because I know how hard it is. Okay, and yeah, so if there's ever any, just to finish up with the bookstore stuff, if there's any bookstores that you guys are aware of, you can send me the link to the website or what have you. And if you know someone personally, that's even better. You know who to contact if you happen to be in a bookstore and you just ask. You can always ask for me. Who would an indie published person like send the information to? You can always help me out and then just email me and tell me, okay? All right, you guys, is there any other questions that you have? Because we've been going for a little over an hour now, and it's time for all of us to get back out into the world. I want you to be patient with yourself. I want you to remember that life is a sloppy Joe. Sometimes we're a sloppy Joe. And remember, we're always kind of oozing out of the bun and trying to gently push ourselves back in. And I want you guys to just be patient with yourself. And instead of looking at what you feel your flaws are right now, like, oh, I'm stuck, or I'm in a holding pattern, or I have problems, or whatever those things are, I want you to look at those as opportunities for you to ask the question, what is it about that? The holding pattern literally means you just need to look at it. It's the universe is asking you, stay here for a minute. If you're in a holding pattern, stay here and look at it. Write it out. Find out what the fears are. Find out what the triggers are. What's the real problem at hand? Is it something that you want to be the driving force of all your decision making? Ask yourself all those questions, and then it's going to really help you to move forward, but to not beat yourself up about where you're at right now, because where you're at is where you're at, and that's the mastery work. You're supposed to figure out where you're at right now and what you need to do to move forward. Okay, so let me see. Barron's and Noble Bookstore looks for writers like you. Okay, good to know. Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, I mean, without further ado, I think that we are done. I have had so much fun with this coffee date. I am so grateful to all of you guys that showed up. Oh my goodness, this was so fun. And you guys knew before anybody else that this new sensuality and seduction course is coming online, and that should be interesting. It might bring a lot more new people into POBA too. It's kind of a different thing out there, but it's all about healing and health and all that good stuff. So I hope that you guys check that one out too when it's available, which should be in a day or two. And it will be on the next POBA sale, which is going to be like, I think the 25th. That's just, FYI. My plan is the Udemy sale ends on the 24th, I believe. So the final sale of the month should be on the 25th for 5 days. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't wait to do this again. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to do it again, let me know. Everybody is going to be able to see this through the links on replay. So this is so fun. So if you needed anything in the chats will be available too. Okay. So I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day and be kind to yourself. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.